Six-game Monday. Welcome to the latest edition of Game Time. You know him, 3D Dennis Scott. I'm Jared Greenberg. The intersection of sports and politics. We've spent a lot of time there over the first 2 weeks of the preseason, and now we're right back at that stoplight as arguably the biggest voice in the league spoke for the first time since returning from China. Monday night, LeBron James weighed in on Daryl Morey's now deleted October 4th tweet that was heard around the world.
We all talk about this freedom of speech. Yes, we all do have freedom of speech, but at times there are ramifications for the negative that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. So I don't believe, I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke. And so many people could have been harmed, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and we say and what we do, even though, yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too.
Okay, so LeBron took a lot of backlash on Twitter following those comments, so he then took to social media to, as he says, clear up confusion. LeBron tweeted, "I do not believe there was any consideration for the consequences and ramifications of the tweet he talked about from Daryl Morey." LeBron said, "I'm not discussing the substance. Others can talk about that." LeBron continued in the second tweet, "My team and this league just went through a difficult week, and I think the people need to understand what a tweet or statement can do to others. And I believe nobody stopped and considered what would happen. Could have waited a week to send it." That's what LeBron said. Okay, so now you're up to speed on that. How about some actual hoops and a good sighting here with Anthony Davis warming up before the game, but LeBron, AD, Danny Green, Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley all resting Monday night against the Warriors. Steph Curry played. He got the block. And then Glenn Robinson III, the alley-oop.
Yes, he still has hops, don't champ.
Demetrius Jackson to JaVale McGee, and we're going to get a highlight rip of JaVale.
JaVale McGee in the preseason getting it done.
Leave him open. What are you going to do, JaVale?
No,
yeah, do it.
No, he's not.
Point guard.
What? Shooter's paradise? Dare I say not.
From way downtown. JaVale
he left it, though. He did leave it.
Glenn Robinson III, no. Steph Curry. Look at the big man.
Huh? No, Jerry, he flexed. Steph, when I see you, you better get in that weight room with all that flexing.
Hey, he right now is, as Steph Curry and Steve Kerr are saying, maybe in the best shape of his life. Yeah. Dwight Howard running the floor. Talk about best shape. How about Dwight Howard here? Speaking of point guards, Dwight assisting.
Huh?
Dwight had 6
with the
assists.
left hand. Facilitate Dwight.
Zach Norvell Jr.
Oh, no, he didn't do that. Oh, that's Smitty. If you're at home, Smitty, get ready. That's going to be below the rim. Oh, Smitty's play below the rim. Yes, it's coming.
Oh, Jordan Poole. Sorry about that.
Look
at this. The bench loves it. LeBron loving it. Lakers nearly blew a 19-point lead preseason. You'll deal with that. JaVale McGee, 11 points in this game off the bench. Dwight Howard, tremendous in this game with 12 and 13 and the 6 assists. We should point out here, Dwight in the regular season in his career had 6 or more assists 7 times for the Warriors. Steph Curry, 17 points in 21 minutes. And Jordan Poole, who's being raved about how he's played, 8 points, just 3 of 14 from the field. All right, let's talk injury news right now. Anthony Davis is officially day-to-day following good news from Monday's MRI on AD's thumb. The team says the Brow has a sprained right thumb, which he suffered in China. Relatively good news on the Kyle Kuzma front as well. Frank Vogel saying that Kuz has been cleared for non-contact drills. Kuzma injured his ankle, which the Lakers are now calling a foot injury during USA basketball, and hasn't been able to participate in training camp with the Lakers. All right, so take with whatever you want from the Lakers' win against the very shorthanded Warriors, as the Lakers played shorthanded as well on Monday night. But how disconcerting are these injuries at this point from the Lakers, albeit good news that we got on Monday?
It's all good news, but let's just go ahead and call it what it is. When Anthony Davis hit his hand against the backboard, you heard the wind go out of the whole West Coast out in California like, no, here we go again, because this was the one thing we were worried about, Anthony Davis having those small type of injuries that could hold him down. Now, come back, everything's good, gets back on the floor, Now let's get back to playing good basketball. The only thing I'm concerned is your right hand, it's your shooting hand, it's your favorite hand you like to block shots with. So hopefully they'll put some tape on or do whatever to get him going. But please, AD, do the best you can to stay healthy.
You know, maybe Anthony Davis has taken a bad rap about his injury history because except for the weird situation in New Orleans, he's actually played a bunch of games the last several years. The issue, though, is he comes out of a lot of games.
Right.
And you have to wonder, with the lack of depth, particularly at the 4 and 5 spot for the Lakers, how badly they need AD to play maybe the most amount of minutes he's ever played this year.
And to your point, Jerry, it's the talent. We know JaVale McGee, what he brings to the table. People are excited. Maybe Dwight has something left. Maybe he can be a rebound and force defender. But AD is almost unguardable when he's on the flow, when he's on that wing, right there in the mid-post. Baseline moves, the baby hook. But if that thumb is sore, let's call it what it is. He's not going to have the same confidence to shoot that little fadeaway we like to see night in and night out. So get back to 100%, take care of your body, and let's just pray you don't have too many of those knick-knack injuries we've seen the last couple of years.
And listen, there's always pressure on LeBron because he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. But there may be more pressure than there ever has been on Anthony Davis and a guy who put the spotlight on himself over the summer, Kyle Kuzma. For these two guys to start out of the gate injured, what does that do to them to try and get acclimated with this new-look roster and start fast for this team, which actually has a pretty favorable schedule the first 10, 20 games?
Anthony Davis, I'm not as worried about as most people outside of the injuries, but you bring up a great point with Kuzma. Do you start him? Do you bring him off the bench? How do you figure that out? Because if, say, JaVale McGee starts and Anthony Davis starts, then LeBron has to play the 3. You're not starting Kuzma at the 2, so you have to bring him off the bench. Now, Frank Vogel and that coaching staff has to figure out what type of offense are you running. We know LeBron has said he'll give the ball up some, and yes, let's run the offense through AD. I like hearing all that. But LeBron, until you showed me that in year 17, you willing to change your stripes just like that, it's hard to do. If you do it, Anthony Davis stays healthy, you bring Kuzma off the bench. Now Frank Vogel may figure out a nice little system there.
Real quick, how excited are you for Steph Curry this season?
I'm very excited. Media day, I asked Steve Kerr, this could be the year Steph leads the league in scoring, maybe 35, 36. He goes, I don't know, it's going to be tough.
I mean, talking about him maybe having the best offseason of his career.
I know, real quick, then we're going to break. Last couple of years, Steph Curry.
As long as you want. They're not going to break if you keep talking.
Now, check this out. Steph Curry didn't play in, 16 to 18 fourth quarters over the last couple of years?
Right.
Now there's going to be a lot of those fourth quarters. They're going to be in the ball game. Steve kind of has to leave him in because you want to try to win those ball games.
Right. The decision in the past was, will they play for the number 1 seed?
Exactly.
This year, they may have to be playing to get into the playoffs.
Exactly. And a lot of those games, you're going to be in the game. Steph has 40. You got a game tomorrow night. Do you leave him in?
Well, we are inching closer and closer.
Cut by Mr. Pope.
55-48, the Lakers lead. Zach Norvell Jr. leading the way with 12 points. And Dwight Howard has 12 rebounds. He got the start. JaVale McGee off the bench, 9 points on 4 of 6. He also has 2 blocks, and he is 1 for 1 from 3. More to come on the Jack in the Box halftime report. He's an honorary Splash brother. JaVale knocking down the 3 against his former team. The Lakers lead Golden State by 7 at the break.
Lakers basketball is brought to you.
48. The Lakers shooting 41%. The Warriors just 30. Lakers less threes tonight, just 12. They've hit 5 of them, so a little better from the three-point line, 41%. And JaVale McGee, once again, Karan, showing his worth here in the preseason.
We talked about the versatility of JaVale McGee, especially on the defensive end of the floor. And then look at his activity on the offensive end of the floor. Look, little no-look pass right there to Stockton. He delivered. I love his activity, big game.
I mean, there's something to be said about a player that's been in the league that really hasn't had, you know, the right opportunity to show all his skills. But meanwhile, he's been improving each year. I mean, in Denver, he had the altitude, and people thought he had the asthma. That was not true. Golden State didn't really get the minutes. Now he's blossoming on both ends.
Yeah, also had 2 blocks. Zach Norvell is making the most of his minutes as well. He got the start and dropped a dozen in the first half. Lakers lead by 7. Jack in the Box halftime report. Rolls on it.
Tags.
48, big game, James. Lakers shooting 28% from 3 through their first 3 games, but they are 41% tonight.
Yeah, a little improvement there. You know, hopefully they can keep that up. Let's see what happens here in the second half. The guys getting a chance to play. McGee shoots your 3.
You know who's hit 4 of those 5 3-pointers? Stockton and Norvell Jr. Karan.
Got to continue to make shots on the perimeter. And, you know, most importantly, making shots in the paint. You know, 24 points in the paint, first half, keep that trend going.
Anything you want to see here in the second half?
Yeah, just staying aggressive, you know, and more JaVale McGee. And look, Dwight Howard's rebounding like a madman out there.
I want one more three from JaVale.